All right. So just to give you a refresh on my story.
Yep.
It's basically musicians like yourself who are now like either they're still in bands or they quit bands. They're utilizing a skill set that they developed over the course of being in a band that caters to the music industry. Like you have Greenvans, obviously.
Right.
Another example would be like Jay with the studio,
of course.
or like Rob Hitt, the dude who was in Midtown, and now he's running like I Surrender Records.
Yep.
And working for Trust Management. So how long have you been in bands?
Probably like 11 years now. I mean, playing seriously in bands, 11 years.
So like 99.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing drums when I was 6 years old. I started in first grade, so I've been a musician my whole life, and like I really got into like band culture and playing in a band in like 99, 2000.
So when did you start taking like measures, realizing like, you know, we're using a lot of gas on tour or whatever, is there something we can do about this? Like how did you first help yourself?
Well, it was really, you know, like anything else out of necessity. For a long time we were touring in like SUVs with trailer hitches on, renting U-Haul trailers, and we were just burning so much money on gas and trailer rentals and like and cramming a bunch of dudes into a really small vehicle that the time came where, you know, in any band's career where you grow to a point where like you actually seriously consider buying a van, you know, a cheap piece of shit van that you can just run into the ground, whatever, and we were sort of at the point to do that. It really came down to, you know, I had some money ready to go to like throw at a shitty van that was probably going to last us for a summer. And instead of doing that, I just really started looking into alternative fuel and biofuel.
About when was that?
2008.
Okay.
So, no, sorry, 2007, the spring before Warped Tour 2007, where that was the year that we booked like a two-month tour that basically followed Warped Tour. You know, like to cover the cost of like of a shitty DIY tour. You know, by sneaking into Warped Tour and selling CDs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that's when I like first heard of you guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, selling you know, going to playing shows after the venue, after the Warped Tour dates. You know, and like barely making enough to pay for gas. So that's when the idea really started.
So when did you convert your own van?
It was for that summer. We had that tour booked, and then I was about to go buy a gas van. Instead, I just like decided this is going to be my project. Learned about biodiesel, veggie oil, bought my first van, probably I think April 2007, and then we used it for that summer tour.
A crux of my like thesis here is that the trend of musicians like now, you know, launching businesses or joining these businesses, that is increasing in like the last few years. Maybe like due to the decline in the music industry, new technology, social media, whatever it is. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Anything else?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's not one band out there that doesn't have somebody in the band with like some kind of entrepreneurial sense to reach out beyond the limitations of being in a band, which are heavy limitations.
Yeah. Fuck, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Give me a second.
Take your time.
No thanks. Wow. Sorry. You just say
more band. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So like you say it's different from 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are very select few people.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now.
Very select group of guys who are like starting labels and starting clothing companies. And you're right, you know, the more social media that's out there, and the more, I mean, the internet has just let everybody talk to everybody and come up with these crazy ideas and just like, you know, and there was a rise in popularity with like, you know, DIY shirt companies and indie labels, and I think it was concurrent with the decline of like the major labels. You know? As that side of the music industry really dissolved, like there was this whole underground, you know, punk rock scene that really, you know, bred a lot of dudes that were doing stuff on their own.
If you don't mind me asking, has Greenvans turned a profit yet?
We're supporting ourselves.
Okay.
I'll say that. So, like, you know, nothing huge, but enough to make what we're doing worthwhile and you know, grow to the point where we need it to grow.
Do you see it like evolving into a sustaining like business, like as a career for yourself, like after Defeater?
Yes, I wouldn't be putting like 3 years of you know, really hard work into it if I didn't believe it was going to be something real, you know, something significant. And honestly, like, it's something something that I want to be my livelihood, really. To be able to stay in the music industry and deal with touring bands and help other touring bands out, really, which is why I started the whole thing. So because I'm in the same shoes of the guys that need bands and need to do 2-week tours and don't have any money, and to perpetuate that and turn it into something that I can really live off of.
Compared to most industries, would you say there's like an individuality or a unique thing where it's people like developing these skill sets and realizing, I've done this all along. What if I could do this and like turn it into some sort of business or contribute to some sort of business?
I mean,
just to at least stay within that industry. Yeah.
That's
sort of like what my angle is.
But that's exactly how this started, and all the guys, all the entrepreneurs that I know, the guys that have really started from scratch and turned something into a career, have done that to a T. Like had a very specific skill set and the need, to survive and not have to, bite the bullet and get a 9-to-5 or whatever, and turn their skill set into something really significant.
Can you name people?
Yeah, of course. The guy who really inspired my entrepreneurial efforts, I guess, is my former roommate. His name's Eric Levin. He's an incredible photographer, and really he was the bass player in one of my first bands. We were in a pop punk together.
What band?
Pop punk band together in Boston. It's called Plan B, which is like a stupid Boston local band. We didn't, it was fun at the time. It was great. We had visions, but we obviously didn't really get very far. But he was sort of like the band manager and putting all his time into getting our band together. And he, he's a good photographer. He took photography classes in college, had a lot of cool artwork, and he just started going out on the street, Newbury Street in Boston on the weekends and selling his photos to make money for rent. And he turned that, step by step over the last 5 years really, and running that into a really, really successful business. He's this incredible photographer. He got a great name for himself. His work is phenomenal. My guitar player Jay the same way. He was just in a band. Saw other people recording bands, was just I can do this better, and really that's the mentality. You have a mentality to just get something done, go out and have an idea and execute it and do it better than somebody else. That's you see somebody doing something and you can do it better, and it's the same idea on my end. Not really doing something better than somebody else, but there was really a lack of something that I could see that everybody needed. And that was really the bottom line. There's for every arm of the music industry, there's a DIY business of t-shirt companies and record labels and recording studios and this and that, but there weren't any van companies, and that was the biggest setback for so many bands. Long-winded answer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's